I paid 5 designers to create the cover for my new book, Upon Careless Gray Hills, a murder thriller set in the very real town of Whittier, Alaska. 5 designers, 5 price points, and 1 red herring. Can you match the prices to the covers? But first, let me tell you how I got here. A book cover is just about the most important thing that you'll do for your book. The cover is one of 3 pieces of marketing that your book has, and between the cover, title, and blurb, that's all you get to convince a reader to try your book. That's it. So where do you get a cover? There's been videos done by other authors about going to Fiverr for their cover. This is my favorite one, but I'll be honest with you, right? There's a better place to go to get book covers. It's just really, really expensive. But does that mean it's better? I'm talking about Reedsy, the marketplace for freelance publishing professionals. I'm talking about editors and designers and marketers that have worked on some of the very books that you love. They go to Reedsy, not to Fiverr. They have industry experience, they have portfolios, actual published books out in the world. Wouldn't this be better than Fiverr? Well, there's only one way to find out. Let's go find our designers. So I'm starting on Fiverr and I'm looking specifically for artists that have experience in creating book covers for the thriller and suspense novel genre. Now, why is that important? Well, every genre has its own expectations and quirks, and that extends beyond just the content of the book, but also to the book cover. We'll talk about that more later. I want a designer who's familiar with those genre expectations. Here we have our first designer, Martelia. I think I'm pronouncing that right. They look to have some good examples of the book cover that I kind of have in mind. And if I was just needing like an ebook cover, I could get it for just $25. And honestly, that's an incredible deal. But for you authors out there, you always want to go for the options that will give you the book cover source file. And that way, if you need to update your blurb or you wrote a book that's longer than you expected, which changes the width of the book spine, then it pays to be able to fix that stuff yourself. All right, let's fill out our design brief, which will be the same for all the different designers, and get the more expensive package. And boom, $65 plus tax. Surely it cannot get cheaper than that. Well, I stand corrected. Uzair coming in hot at $30. And honestly, their portfolio has some book covers that look pretty good. It's worth a shot. Click it and rip it. All right, let's up the ante though, right? Saphir offers some pretty cool covers, and I'm seeing a lot more focus on font choices than the other designers. But I'm not really planning on releasing a hardcover version of this book, so I can order this middle package just for $100. With 3 designers from Fiverr down, why don't we head on over to Reedsy? So here on Reedsy, things work a bit differently. You set a project, you provide some details, and then you go around and you choose book cover designers to invite to that project. Then those designers respond to you, you can ask questions, go back and forth, and then they will give you a quote. I'm sure it won't be that bad. Oh! Okay, well, I stand corrected. These prices are significantly more. But after looking at all of these quotes and all the different designers, I think Roderick is super talented with some works that are seriously jaw-dropping. So the big question is, if all the designers have the same brief, does that money really make a difference? So now all I do is wait. But you're lucky. We just need a little bit of movie magic. Oh, dang it. This happens sometimes. It's not a perfect system. Okay. Before I get us back on track though, let me make sure I'm inviting you to join our Discord. We have over 600 writers just like you who are sharing tips, resources, feedback on each other's stories, and we even do writing challenges to give you an excuse to start and finish something. It's a great place to be. There's a link down below. Come join us. Now, back to that movie magic. Okay, we made it this time. All the covers are ready. I've gone back and forth with the designers, giving feedback, getting revisions to get each cover to the highest quality it could be. But if I just sat here and told you about the prices, that would be boring. So let me introduce you to our contestants today. Lauren from Lauren's Little Library on TikTok, and maybe from YouTube sometime soon, wink, wink, wink. Joriam from his writing channel, Joriam Ramos, and Julian from his writing channel, Julian Maylet. All great creators who can bring great insight to our book covers. Whoa! Welcome to Cover Charge, America's #1 game show combining financial irresponsibility with book covers. That's right. This is the game show where I spend my hard-earned money and you tell me, was it worth it? Thank you. Please. Today we have 5 book covers from 5 designers at 5 price points. Can you match the covers to the price? And can you spot the red herring? That's right. One of these covers is not what it seems. And no, it's not AI. We can be more creative than that. I've seen it done a million times. I'm done with it. It's not AI. Something else. God. Let's hear about our book today. We have Upon Careless Gray Hills, a murder thriller set in the very real town of Whittier, Alaska. A place only accessible by a 2-mile-long tunnel through a solid mountain, where every single night a big metal gate closes that tunnel down, and if you are in town, you are staying in town. We have 3 very antsy contestants ready to start guessing book covers. Why don't we get started with book cover number 1?
So I like the fact that it's kind of, the sun is set and it's kind of mysterious, but you don't get to see the tunnel. So I think it's kind of missing I would say it's a missing element. No, I don't know. Let's see the other covers if they do include the tunnel. I think it's a missed opportunity because it's definitely very thriller-like, and you understand that there's going to be a lot of things happening involving people in the surroundings, like neighbors and stuff. I like the how do you say, the fade in the letters, and it's a good start. I'm pleased with what I see. I just think it's a missed opportunity. I think the tunnel, but let's see.
I see the digital effects. I'm no specialist, but I have worked with many like Photoshop and Illustrator specialists before, and I see some of the style used here is very typography oriented. I don't think this is a bad decision at all. I think it's a good cover. I don't think it's a brilliant cover, but I think it's good. And it gives me an idea of this isolated place. I like that it's covered with trees all around, which I wouldn't be surprised if the actual place is, but I also wouldn't be surprised if they cut the trees right around the apartment block, right? But in terms of vibes, it gives me this vibe of isolation. And hey, I do enjoy that. I do enjoy that we're living a moment, and like in book covers, that this is being explored to its ultimate potency. So don't get me wrong, I dig that.
Okay, immediately I'm thinking horror. So the thing that I don't like about this is that I know that's not the genre, and so I think there's an incongruence there. I understand tonally why it's got so much blue, but I have no concept as to what this, but what I can see is a potentially derelict apartment building in the middle of absolutely nowhere. And I think it's the fact that it is isolated. There's nothing but trees around it. And that is such a typical trope within horror, right? You're trapped in the mansion in the middle of nowhere. That is so classic to horror. That being said, nothing about this says Alaska to me.
Keep this in mind, you will see this again at the end when you're choosing your prices for what each book cover is worth. Lovely. Let's go to book cover number 2.
This is giving me The Shining. A lot of The Shining, of this hotel thing. I don't like it very much, Carson. I hope you didn't pick this one. I feel like the difference in weight between Upon and Careless is unforgivable. This would take my sleep away. I hate this. I'm just really impressed with the difference between upon and careless. There's something really wrong with the typography. There's a lot of saturation. And sure, it also sells me on isolation, but yeah, the previous one definitely sold me more.
Yeah. Okay. So I have a feeling that this is the red herring. It's the text. The text is giving some sort of stock font, and I appreciate that there is, at first glance, like this one is immediately more pleasing to the eye than the previous one.
And you think I designed it? Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. But I do think that the text is what gives it away as being a little bit more amateurish. Just the fade, the drop shadow. It's just, there's something just not fully right about it.
Okay.
Is that a lake that I see at the bottom? Okay, I think I prefer the previous one. I like the fact that, there's kind of consistency in terms of colors between one and the other. You have the pine trees, kind of, I would be more compelled to grab the other one. I also don't really like the two colors on the letters, on the title. The fact that you have, the other one has a gradient and a fade. I don't really like the yellow one on the hills. I understand what they tried to do to kind of match the color of the window, but it's a good one. It's not bad at all. I don't want to be disrespectful to the to the illustrator. It's just I prefer the other one.
The hits keep on coming. Every single contestant with great points, great interpretations. I can't wait to see what they got next. Let's look at book cover number 3.
Okay, I hate it. This is giving 10 minutes of work. This is giving slapdash. Like, quite literally, I think someone could make this in 10 minutes. So this one better be the cheapest one or the red herring. This is some sort of into the wild, into thin air, obviously Krakauer. You know what I mean? Like that's what it's communicating, is that one of the main characters, which you said is Alaska to a degree, but this is communicating that one of the main characters is the wilderness, specifically, that it's the character against the wilderness. That's what I'm picking up from it. But I'm going to go ahead, without seeing all the other ones, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say now that I hope that's the $30 one.
Okay.
Or the red herring.
Some good guesses here. And of course, you have the money amounts on here if you need to start tucking things away. As a reminder, one of these price points is also a red herring, because I had to put 5 prices on here. So
yeah, I was going to ask, but yeah, okay, I figured.
Okay.
Why are you laughing?
No, I'm wondering what the other, how they reacted.
What do you mean?
Is this the outlier?
What?
I don't really like the fact that there's no kind of blending of the letters, either behind the mountain. I think there was a missed opportunity there. Or there's no kind of 3D dimensional effect. I don't like 3D effects on the letters. No. For me, from a creative standpoint, everything's wrong here. But the font seems like if this is the outlier, you didn't spend much time trying to fake it and looking for a specific font.
Don't say you didn't spend enough time. Look, this designer, whoever they might be, maybe didn't spend enough time
on font search. Yes.
I'm making a note here. This might be the herring. I do enjoy very much the fact that this kind of looks like a tourism poster. So this reminds me of this small town. We don't have a lot of designers here. We don't even know how that works, but we want to do our best. Sort of a design aesthetic, which I think is really cool for a book cover. As much as the illustration might seem a bit crude compared to the details of the last two, I do enjoy this way more. There's something about the fact that everything is dark, with the exception of the snow and your name, really, because even the letters on the top, they're still kind of non-contrasting with the sky. That I think is a really elegant design choice. I'm not making my vote yet, but this is my preliminary thought.
Wow, what a left turn. Everyone seemed to not like that one as much, but I'm sure the designer tried really hard on that. I'm sure they did. Let's go to book cover number 4.
Okay, there's a mystical aspect in the background. We don't really see what's behind. The building, I think it's maybe the proportion of the perspective. It's one of my least favorite, I would say. Just the perspective is a little bit off, like the building and the space behind. There's something off for me because the windows are so small. The building feels kind of like this has been taken on, the iPhone 07, angle, kind of wide angle. Yeah. And then the trees, it seems so close to me. The font of Hills, for example, is very sci-fi-ish. It's very sci-fi. It reminds me a bit of Ready Player One. I don't know how I feel about this one. I'm not a big fan of this one.
Okay, definitely don't think that's the red herring. There's some strange Photoshopness to it that I can't put my finger on. I kind of enjoy that the title was sort of turned into Careless Hills. There's clearly like a work of emphasis there. I don't like the font choice very much.
I was about to say, if you hated the difference in weight between Upon and Careless on that other book cover, you're going to hate it on this one. No.
This is an intentional choice. That was like intense use of alcohol. It communicates a little less the isolation to me because the apartment block is so big. I could imagine there's another one next to it, Also, this apartment complex seems like kind of jolly. Like I wouldn't mind living there. While the other ones look creepier. Yeah, it's all right. I'm still very partial to cover number 3 and cover number 1.
My immediate feeling about this one is not the genre that we are trying to represent. To me, this is that sort of like apocalyptic weather event. It's the people versus the wilderness, but it's the wilderness as a tsunami.
Do you think that this book cover is good?
No, my eye doesn't know where to look. In terms of its design, my eyes literally don't know where to go. Your name at the bottom is super clear, but then compared to everything else between your name and the building and what looks like maybe some boats, that is the only white space pretty much in this entire cover. And then you have a long-ish title that is crunched right up at the top. And then again, the only other sort of white space, as it were, is the space where it says Upon. After that, you've just got stuff going on. So it's not pleasing to my eyeballs, unfortunately.
Wow, now you don't know what to think. You thought you had this game all figured out, but I came in here and rattled your cage. Oh my God, that was terrible. Let's go to book cover number 5.
Well, I like this very much. I feel the composition is the best composition between all of them thus far. Yes, the typography is made to be legible rather than funky, but it is rather legible. It fulfills its purpose. It's as I said with the first one, it's one of those one big symbol covers for me. This is a story about the apartment complex. It makes perfect sense. If anything, it looks kind of happy, while the others were creepier. But I would sacrifice the creepiness for this really great composition. I like... there is a sense of isolation because everything is sort of like tilted and in movement, except for this block of ice that is the apartment complex. I like this choice. I generally don't like the choice of putting like a thriller, a romance, a blah blah in a book, but I think it was done with a lot of like a elegance here. So even a choice that normally would bother me is not bothering me at all. If it was not so well done, it would be bothersome. But it was well done. It doesn't bother me at all. But then again, I am not a thriller reader. So I think there are conventions in the genres that are there for a reason and people are used to them and they're not hurting anyone. So you might as well put. And I feel this might be one of them. So congratulations, whoever did this thriller. That's really cool.
Okay. It's funny because this is the only one that says a thriller. And I think it needs it because once again, what this cover is communicating to me is not thriller. I'm trying to place the font. I'm trying to figure out why that font looks so familiar, especially with the sort of tilt up toward it. I'm going, is that a romance thing? Where have I seen that before? It's beautiful. It is a beautiful cover. But it's not telling me thriller, right? Because like this looks like dawn, which is usually you've come through in a thriller. You've come through the dark night. It's maybe a hotel, maybe some sort of apartment building surrounded by Alaskan wilderness of sorts. But again, this one doesn't say Alaska to me because I can't see any snow. I can't even tell if there are trees. Okay. But I think this is my favorite font. I think this is my favorite use of the space itself. I think it's a really beautiful cover. I just don't know I can't tell what the story's about.
I don't know if I like it anymore. I don't know. The more I like it. I like the sunset kind of vibe there. I like the color palette is a bit different, a bit less one you expect, like the bluish and yellow. This is more like early nights where people are still getting ready. I like the fact that the windows, some windows are lit up. I like the thriller, like the handwritten thing. I like that. It doesn't feel as darkish, as a dark thriller or psychological thrillers would be. It has the same kind of colors as Where the Crawdad Sings. So it could be. I think there's less work being done on the font, on the title in terms of, there's less work. I think the first one you showed was the most thoughtful one in terms of design and added layout for the title. But I like this one. I like it.
Now you've seen all 5 book covers. Which one is your favorite? Vote down in the comments below, over on our YouTube community post, or come join the Discord and vote over there. But here's the important part. Let's talk money.
So I'm going to take out the fake dollar amounts.
Okay.
And let's see if that changes any of your perspective on what needs to line up with what. Because I think you're so close to nailing it.
Okay.
So I'm going to remove this dollar amount. And if you want to assign these $4 values in any different way and try to leave the red herring blank.
Okay. So I'm going to guess that the one in the middle is the true red herring. Yeah, because genuinely, if I had paid any money for that cover, I would have not been happy. So let's make that one the red herring.
Maybe that designer who worked on that was trying really hard.
I'm sure that designer did try really hard.
And I'm sure they used all the tools they had at their fingertips in order to make something really neat.
Okay, let's just take the $sign away from that one. We're gonna put the 30 under number 4.
You just want me to shift all of these up one?
It's funny because I think the first two, like if you didn't give me a dollar value and you said, around about how much did you pay for it? I would have assumed that those two you paid for a very, very similar dollar value. You know what? I'm going to stick with my gut. I'm going to say that the 100 is the first one and 65 under number 2.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
So over here, I have all of our book covers presented in that same order. So book 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and all of our potential prices. Before you try to line up the prices, do you want to attempt, I know it's hard, to attempt to identify the red herring?
Sure. I would say between the 3rd and the 5th one, but because of your comments on, the added, thrillers and stuff, I would say the 3rd one is the outlier. Mm-hmm.
Julian, you are correct.
Yes, okay.
This is the
I thought,
outlier.
my gosh, I'm going to be so... This is insulting, the reaction. Like, if it's you, it's still insulting, but it would have been, I kind of regretted my reaction.
It's okay, we'll fix it in post. And because the game was poorly designed, I will go ahead and remove the red herring false price. So these are the 4 prices you are actually working.
It's funny how I placed it at $65, the first one. Now I would say this is the most expensive one. Could be also the last one, or I would say the first and the last could be $445. I would put $100 for the second one. I would put $30 for the 4th one. I would say $445 for the first one, just because of all the added layers and around the font. I would say maybe then the last one 100, and then the second one 65. Yes, and it would match. I think the one at $30 would match the fact that it's the only one that kind of did not match and didn't do some research in terms of typical font for thrillers. I would say that would make sense. And then I think either the 5th or the last one is wrong. Maybe like switch, I don't know. Because there's a lot more detail in the second one, I feel. But that's not always what you pay for. Sometimes you just pay for the artist. So I would leave it like that.
I'm starting to think, because now I understood this process a little bit better, and I understood how. So you provided photos of the place as references
To every designer.
Exactly. So this became clear with the last covers. That makes me understand that the first designer actually created something that might be from scratch, might be a 3D model, might be a completely different picture. So that increases the level of challenge, and it makes me think it's a little bit more on the expensive side. Seeing them side by side just like that really helps me understand the power of that clear typography work. So the first thing I want to say is that I think I know the red herring.
Okay, what are your thoughts on
both book and price?
Wait, which one? Which one's the red herring?
I think number 4 is a red herring.
Number 4?
Yes.
Joriam, I will tell you 2 things. One, the price was 0.
Okay.
2, I did make it. But Joriam, Number 3, you have chosen the wrong cover as a red herring.
Really? No.
Joriam, I will reveal the red herring, unless you want to
Okay.
go for it.
No. Well, I already shoot my shot. No, that's it. I lost.
The book cover that I designed was book cover number 3.
Right.
That
okay.
is the red herring.
Well, it does look different from the others, so I thought you were misguiding me, which is what I would do with you. I think it did a terrific job. I think it has style.
All right. Well, since we've identified the red herring, I will also remove the red herring price that I have down here, so you can work with all the information here.
Right. Okay.
I did not pay $165 for a book cover.
Oh dear.
So
okay.
you are working with these 4 prices for the 4 actual book covers I paid for.
Okay. Let's get this number 2 and put it at 30. So 65, talking about it. Let's put on number 4. I do think 1 and 5 are good covers, by the way. I think they are our best covers, though I do have a soft spot for yours, okay, Carson? I do. It's really nice. But I understand that there's a sort of a competition for a level of detail. And in that competition, cover number 1, so I'm gonna guess that's the 445. And that cover number 5 is the 101. If I'm wrong, I wouldn't be surprised. And if you picked one other than the other, I was like, I wouldn't be disappointed. I think those are really they get there. That's it. That's my final call.
Well, Joriam, are you ready for me to reveal how
Bring
many
it.
you got right?
Bring it.
Joriam, you got 0 right.
Oh God.
Oh, and this was on camera.
God. Okay, bring it. Bring it,
Let
boy.
me reveal. I paid the first book cover was $100. So you were right in the fact that you had both of these and you felt like they could go either way. 100% right. I paid $65 for this one here.
Okay.
And then,
No, I
of course,
hate
you were right
so
about the red
much.
herring, and then 30 and
No, I was
400.
wrong about the head herring as well, and I have it in camera. I got it all wrong.
Let me go ahead and reveal the results. So, Julian, you did correctly identify the red herring. We know that. You got 2 out of 4 correct.
Okay.
You correctly identified the $30 one and the $65 book cover. I did pay $100 for the first cover and $445 for the final cover, which you did say you could flop them and still feel like that was fairly accurate.
Yeah.
So knowing the final results here, what do you think?
Makes sense. I just do think that, $30 or $65 to work with an artist or a designer it's very cheap. And it also reflects, imagine they just took one hour to do it. $30 for an hour. It's 1 hour of design, but then they have to kind of understand your request, kind of communicate with you. I guess you paid also for kind of edits, modifications and stuff if you wanted. And then there's the whole thought process, for example, the first one has a lot more thoughts behind it, and you need to pay for that as well. There's a time that you're not necessarily sitting on the computer, maybe they're drawing on a tablet, maybe they're drawing on paper. You don't see that work. I know that some platforms are kind of screen recording what the artist is doing just to make sure they're working the amount of hours that you're paying them to. But when it comes to creative work, it depends on your process. Especially, for you and me, like writing could write notes on your notebook, and then, write on your computer. But, I think the $30 and $65 for a book cover, I guess it's a great deal. Then how much value do you really get out of it? I don't know.
Lauren. I'm sorry to say.
Oh no.
You have aced cover charge 100%. Every dollar correctly identified to every color. Everyone give a hand to Lauren. Wow.
Thank you.
All right, check out their channels below. They're all doing great stuff for the writing space, whether they're coming from a perspective of reading, a perspective of writing, or media as a whole. All their channels are linked in the description. Go send them some love. They were great sports to be the guinea pigs for this show. And if you want more fun writing content, because we're allowed to have fun, I don't know if anyone told you that, subscribe to this channel for more crazy, goofy things like this. And as always, thank you for watching. Also, this thing is from a vacuum. 6 bonus points if you can name the exact vacuum that this came from. This is your only hint. Good luck.